Hey YouTube! FUZZ Thursday's back, just by chance. Pal gave me, was having problems with this Germanium 4 Big Muff pedal. Said it wasn't working properly, and I think it is. On a double side of that, there's actually one of these on Facebook Marketplace, and without the scratchy front on it, for quite cheap. So do I want one? Don't know. So I'm using the Magnized Blazer, which I've used for all the other front reverbs on. No, it isn't. So running through my wee Laney VC15 through that 3x12 cabinet, and all those pedals are off. I suppose technically I should probably just be running straight into the amp. Can't pause. Yeah. So that's it clean. Seems quite distorted, doesn't it? I wonder if I've been messing about with the amp channel somewhere. Drive volume, drive. Clean enough. Well, this t-shirt totally matches this guitar. Never noticed that before. Anyhow, so this has got two halves to it: overdrive and distortion. I was looking up. I started looking up videos. To be honest, I looked up videos for it, and it was about 500,000. So I thought I couldn't be bored watching any of them. So I'll just find out for myself. So overdrive section. What's that last knob say? So we've got gain, bias, tone, and then volume. Gain, bias, tone, and then volume. Sorry, I can't quite zoom. I should really try and zoom out a little bit, but you can see all the knobs. So I'd imagine that's, go for the old turn the gain up to full and the volume down. Yeah, so we've got a bit of yeah, so what does bias do? How did I have this set up before where you can actually see what I'm turning? So I'll turn the bias down to nothing, see what it does. Seems to turn it off. Turn it up to full, see what it does. Don't really know what bias is. So we'll go for the distortion side. Now I heard that apparently this doesn't sound like a Big Muff. I don't really know that much about Big Muffs. The only Big Muff I've got is the Metal Master one, or the Micro Metal Muff. It's called. I like it. I should probably get a Big Muff at some point. Maybe when we do this swap thing, I might be persuaded to swap a couple of pedals for an actual Big Muff, just so I know what it is like. Just a bog standard Big Muff. None of the variations, just a one with 3 knobs on it, just that fine. There's a mini one which is the same as this. I think looking at this, you can see there, it's like that's the size of a normal EHX pedal, and the sticker on the top makes it look like 2 sitting next to each other, which is pretty cool. So I've turned on this one, just with the distortion side of it. Quite like that riff actually. I'm going to wonder what the chances of the drum pedal being at the right speed. Try the overdrive pedal at the same. like that riff. The glorious moment when you find a new riff before you've worked out what it is, it's actually just another song, isn't it? Quite like the way it goes dun 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 dun, kind of stops. Yeah, so the reason I think put the bias at half. Well, it actually looks like it might be set so that I think the reason the chap thought this didn't work is the volts thing, and the volts thing is basically it's to simulate a dying battery. And we had this one time when I was in the Black Sabbath band after the end. We were in the studio and Craig's, I think it was his delay pedal, we were playing Fairies Wear Boots, and his delay pedal pure died. But see, just before it died, it sounded amazing. And they were like, what have you done with that pedal? It sounds brilliant. He's like, I think the battery's gone. And then I think with the next song it had gone. So just when it was just dying, it just took the last bit. It sounded amazing. So I think that's kind of the idea, the old dying battery thing. I know they used to, who was it used to make them? Was it Dan Electro? Used to make special batteries for pedals that intentionally didn't run at the full 9 volts. So you would get an awful lot of voodoo going on in there. But this one's got the volts thing, so try turning that down. But I mean, okay, it's not really fuzz, is it? It's more just overdriving it. Oh, sorry, distortion it says on it. I'm definitely going to have to write a riff for the band that kind of goes dun dun dun, quite like that. So cut the volts down to, see now it's starting to sound broken. Turn the volume down. No difference. Volts down a wee bit more. Well, I'm actually get so it's not actually on the. Oh, you can just see the volts down. You can't actually see what it is it's doing. My super metal frame thing for holding the camera isn't actually a good design at all. It's a terrible design. It doesn't work for this pedal because the thing's going either side, so I can't actually. Maybe I can raise it up a little bit. So that's the volts at half. As you can see, it does have a sort of more volume on it. It does have a sort of broken-y sound to it. So that's the volt. It really, when you start getting up to sort of there, what's that? 2 o'clock on the dial, it starts to sound normal. At 12 o'clock, overdrive to start. So it really is like a bad lead, an intermittent signal simulator around it. And it does have that, I'm not sure if it's fuzz, but it's a couple of the fuzz pedals I've got do kind of do that spitty, raspy, broken sound, depending on how you play it. So I suppose we've got to starve it with more volts. Now I have to boost it a little bit. Is it actually even going to make a noise? Yeah, totally. I think maybe that's what the boost sings for. I think if you turn that right down, the voltage right down. to use that. I'm going to use that very much. Amazing how when you put the voltage up it sounds like normal pedal. Maybe I do quite like starving it a little bit. A little bit more. Yeah, okay, I kind of like it when you the voltage is there. Oh, I've almost got it. I almost had what that riff was there. It's definitely not mine. Answers on a postcard. We'll write it on a postcard and then read it off the postcard and type it into the comments. It's really doing my head in. I totally know it. Oh, it's doing my head in. I'll be doing my head in all day. Yeah, I think maybe because it's a new knob, the one I'm playing with most is that Volts one. The overdrive side just seems to be a bit of a sort of, I suppose, a solo boost. Maybe be useful, not really that much just to me. I don't think the other side of it, but the voltage thing I quite like. And I definitely kind of like it with the, when you start starving it a little bit. Whatever the song is, it does it on the bass first. I think it kind of starts to sound like a fuzz pedal when you start starving it. Basically, well, what I think is a fuzz pedal. The volume control doesn't really affect it the way it does in a fuzz pedal. Normally, when you're starting to get that sort of sound in a fuzz pedal, when you cam it down, it gets really intermittent and broken sounding. This one doesn't seem to do that. That's the volume off, so. That's going to be annoying me all day. I totally know it. In fact, I think a keyboard, a Hammond organ comes in. Is it Uriah Heep? Something like that. It's a band I don't really know that well, I think. It's definitely not like Deep Purple. I've got this Hammond organ thing coming in. Is it Atomic Rooster? It might be Atomic Rooster. If you haven't heard Atomic Rooster, look up. That's not the song I used to play. What was the song? The Eye in the Sky song? It can't be that either. It's the Eye in the Sky, Fly in the Sky by Atomic Rooster that I actually went to the studio once with my pal Ivor, and we played that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Damn it! That would have been a really good song to write. I bet I would have got away with that as well, because I don't think any of the rest of the band would have heard of Atomic Rooster. I don't think anyone's ever heard of Atomic Rooster. What a riff though! I wish I had written it. Yeah, so to be honest, I think the one that's on Facebook Marketplace is only 50 quid. I think it's a pass. I don't really see much use in it for me. It's nice fun to play with, but I don't know. Yeah, so Germanium Big Muff. Basically, the most interesting bit's that voltage thing. I like that. I wonder you could probably actually. I'm wondering if I could just do that with any pedal. Like, could you make like a pedal that basically had a battery in it, and then just use a pot to regulate the voltage? And then I might be able to do that with every pedal. You know, if I had a standalone pedal. No, you wouldn't have to have an in and out on it. It would just have a battery in it. Basically like a battery power supply box, which would probably actually be quite useful anyway, wouldn't it? I do actually have a couple of pedals, namely the one I played. I don't know if you can see it. The one that lights up the Dayglow Delamo fuzz pedal. I used that at the gig did with Cranking House, and it doesn't actually take a battery. And as I opened it up, and I was trying to find some way of attaching it. I do have like a wee, like a battery connector with a plug on the back of it, so you can just have a 9-volt battery, just sit it next to it. But actually having a separate pedal or a thing with maybe that voltage starvy thing, I'll need to have a wee look and see. There must be a way of doing it. There must be a way of cutting down the voltage of a battery just with a pot of some description. Which would give me that, it sounds very quiet, doesn't it? Was it as quiet as that when I started? I think the old problem of when you start turning things up, you just get used to it being a bit louder than it was. So another day waiting in for Parcel Bastards. This is Thursday, it's actually a Fuzz Thursday. It should have been a new guitar Wednesday yesterday for my unboxing, and it never arrived, even though the tracker said it was due yesterday, so I waited in all day yesterday, and then the tracker finally caught up, and it took Royal Mail Parcel Force 26 hours to pick it up from the post office. Great. And then it's now in a hub. It gives you tons of information, doesn't it? So it was like last night, after maybe 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock last night, eventually I just assumed the tracker wasn't working. It said, oh, we've got your parcel. Oh, that's great. 26 hours after, I got the thing from eBay saying it's on its way. I hate waiting for things. Waiting's my least favourite thing. That's one of the shit things of being in a band, isn't it? When you're waiting to go on, just waiting. So I'll do another video or something else. Try and pass the time, I think. I don't think it's coming today. I think it'll be tomorrow for my new guitar. The first new guitar, well, I'm calling it a new guitar. It's actually not brand spanking new. It's second hand, but it's like a 2019 or a 2020 model, and you can still buy it in the shops. So it's newer than anything else I bought since I was my 19th birthday, when I bought my Epiphone SG. That was new. Well, it was from Victor Morris, so new. In fact, it can't be. It was a 96 model, so it was 2 years old, but still new. I'm not counting. I was talking to my pals earlier on. I'm not counting all the guitars I bought in China, because I must have bought about half a dozen in China, but they weren't for me. Well, one of them, they were kind of were. But they were like an opportunity. If you I'll tell you, if you were in China and you had the opportunity I had, you would have bought a couple of guitars and brought them back. Prices that were just insane. You're just like, that's for the whole guitar. But like that the guitar only cost that. Really? How much are we getting ripped off over here by the time when you're going? I mean, the guitars I were buying were I don't know, sort of better than the cheapest Squire. Kind of, I don't know, was it the £200 one? That kind of range, and it didn't cost £200. I didn't buy 6 at £200. No, it's like that was over a couple of different times I went, and I'll be buying more once the pandemic's over and I'm actually allowed to go there. I'm trying to get to go to Taiwan, see Civet, and it's just no. It's like, oh, what's your policy for letting foreigners in? No. Just no, unless you're actually a Taiwan citizen, you can't go there. I don't think Taiwan's as cheap for guitars though. I think Taiwan's a bit more normal. I think China's really cheap for everything apart, including when you get wages. You get when you're only getting £25 a week. You know what I mean? You can understand why you can pick up a guitar for kind of the money they do. It's like whereas some of the Migos are at £25 for going to big fancy restaurants and getting like I went to a buffet restaurant. I'm just rambling on now. How long are we talking? 25 minutes? Yeah. Okay. We went to like what would you call it, a buffet? No, a hot pot it was called, not buffet. And was up here sitting there, I've told this story before, sitting there with Civet. It was like, this is pretty amazing. The place was huge. It's like, it was one of those shots, sometimes when you're in a restaurant you get like a bit with mirrors and you think, oh, it looks pretty big, but that's just mirrors. It was like, yeah, totally. This is, it was what I would class as a big restaurant anyway, with these mirrors down between pillars on the wall. And it wasn't after I looked at it, hold on, and it wasn't mirrors, it was just another side of the restaurant that was the same size as the one I was in. Massive place. And I was sitting there with you got like an iPad pad thing, like a touchscreen thing to choose what you wanted, and some of the things on it were disgusting. It was like they had brains. I don't know if they were chilled monkey brains like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, but it really showed you pictures, and it was like pure. There's nothing else it could be other than brains that size on a plate. And like pure, not have that, so I didn't order them, but did order noodles, and it was handmade noodles. I thought, yeah, handmade noodles, and the chef actually came out with like a blob of pasta stuff, whatever it is, and then proceeded to actually make the noodles, and he was kind of spinning them around his head and doing this and making, like, he started off with a ball of dough and he made noodles just using his fingers. Like, we were sitting there like that, pure bizarre. And that whole thing ended up costing something like £20 each. It was like, that was the most full I've ever been, because the food was amazing. And it got to the point where I was like, well, you got it with this soup. Why am I talking about this just now? Anyway, you can have turned it off ages ago anyway if you wanted a fuzz pedal. So I had this bowl of a hot pot. It's like you get 2 big bowls of soup thing and you put things in it, kind of like a fondue sort of idea. And I was eating this thing, it was pure amazing. I was munching my way through it, it was like fantastic. And I realised that the soup I had big chunks a steak in it, and they were amazing. It was like put it in your mouth, it just pure. You didn't have to chew it at all. You could just swallow these big chunks of steak, and so I was like getting there, just pure sweat and getting to stop. So I started going, oh, you know when you get when you've drank something you shouldn't have, you know, right, stop. I get it sometimes when I drink. When someone gives you a whiskey, it's like my whole body goes, oh, whoa, watch it. I'm like, whoa, right, okay, so that's alright. I know what I'm doing, body. It's fine. I can handle one whiskey. I'm not going to drink anymore. And this time I was sitting there and I was like, you're right. Someone said, let's go. And I'm like, no, this is so good. I can't leave. So we waited 10 minutes. Then I managed to eat, and I was like, this is great. And then it was like pure bung wall again. And then honestly, by the time we got out of that place, like half an hour later, I literally lay on the concrete outside because I could not move. I couldn't move. It was just pure comatose. I'd just eaten so much. It was amazing. Plus I had to drive the motorbike home as well, so we kind of walked about for half an hour still, you know, drunk or full of something. No, I wasn't drinking. I didn't have any booze. It was just when you eat that much food. Awesome. So that was completely by the by. I put it up to 26 minutes. Rock on. I don't know when the next FUZZ Thursday will be. If I'll be buying any more fuzz pedals. I'm going to rearrange my boards. I'm going to get rid of all the pedals, the ones I never use. There's no point. I figured there's no point in them sitting in a drawer. So I've got them all set up. So I've got, like, along the top here, I've got delay, tremolo, chorus, phaser, a flanger, a boss pedal, which I kind of forgotten I had. And then on the bottom I've got like and that's in an effects loop sort of thing with a bypass pedal on it, as well as the micro metal muff and the Washburn stack in the box in that loop. And then not in the loop I've got a tuner, I'll keep that, a compressor, never ever turn it on. The only time I've ever really found any use for a compressor myself is when I've got a guitar that's kind of broken. You kind of use it, see when you get like a shit guitar, you know, not you know the quirky guitars, the ones that like, oh, Jack White will like this, those sort of ones. The compressor sometimes necessary. And then I've got the US Dream, which I like as my main overdrive. I've got a Rat pedal, like a Mosky Rat, which no, I do use it, but it's kind of, I've got it set and I've got it turned down really low so that, say it's really late at night, I could just play the guitar without having to adjust the amp. I just got it set. I really, you know, where it actually makes everything quieter. Then I've got the Twin Note, which I do like. I've got the Delamo Fuzz, which I do like, and then I've got the Rusty Fuzz, which I do like, but I've never really used. So basically, I'd like to cut it down to just having. You're meant to have the fuzz at the front of the circuit as well. So I would have the tuner, the Delamo Fuzz, the Twin Note Fuzz, and the US Dream, and then that's my entire rig. If that ever happens. The plan is with this bringing buy sale thing in Icebox, which I've been talking about, we've not organised it yet. I'm going to sell all my pedals. That's my phone. So, rock on, catch you later.